All right, you guys. Hey, it's Dee Corchin. I'm glad to be with you guys. This is our leadership call, the first Monday. Our goal is to do this the first Monday, but like last month was September, it was Labor Day, so we didn't do it. So I'm glad we're here tonight or today and excited about Awaken. Who is excited? So I would love to see, just pop in the chat, like, why are you coming or what's the most like, what are you most looking forward to about Awaken? Because I think that might be relative to what we're going to talk about today. Let's just start blowing up the chat. Community of inspiration, mind reset, to be inspired, still on the quest to find the best me. I love that. Love you guys. I love all events, connection, absorbing all the good energy. What else? So your peeps, inspiration and motivation, inspiration and connection with fellow coaches, being together in person. I feel like I'm stuck at ED and want to grow. So some business development, personal growth. Yep. Learning and growing, connection together. All right, awesome. Who's going to be this your first Awaken event? We've only had one before, but who's it your first? Yeah. Yeah. So it's special, you guys, and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. It's special because what makes Optavia special is our community. And so many of us, we've been to these larger events, but this is going to be just us. And it's a different feel, a different vibe. We get to connect on a different level. And I think if we're really honest with ourselves, this community, this connection is a big reason why we do this, right? A big reason why we're a part of Optavia. So, just a couple things I wanted to share. I mean, our team continues to grow. Thank you guys for what you're doing. We added several new coaches last month, and we had 2 leadership rank ups. I don't think Dawn Crane ranked up to executive director. She's going to speak on team time tonight. And then Jennifer Sicilian is her coach. So she ranked up to regional director, which is really fun because Jennifer was in Italy while she ranked up a leader on her team. So that's the great thing about Optavia, that we get to do that. And we had 11 people rank up total, but we have 2 new directors on the team. So something tells me they'll probably be executive director next month. So thank you guys for what you're doing. And if you're still working on your sponsoring skills, welcome to the club. We all are. So, that'll be something that we will definitely be talking about at Awaken. But there's culture. I think people follow culture, and we as leaders help determine the culture of our organization. And if you look around Optavia, we all have the same vehicle, we all have the same business that we offer, but we all come at it a little differently. And I love that you guys are here so much. You say the community is important to you, being part of something, being in connection, because that, quite honestly, when I learned the value of that and realized what it was doing for me, that's when our team started to explode. And then that ripple effect happened, was what's coming from this place of connection and a place of love. And sometimes we can forget it. I feel like I'm repeating everything I'm probably going to say in my opening thing on Friday, but I think sometimes we forget it because we get caught up in the business, and we get caught up in where we should be and what we want to have and what we don't have and what's happening over there and how come it seems easier for them, right? Can you raise your hand if you can relate to that? And then the noise in our head gets there. So I saw this great TEDx talk, and I shared it with the globals, and they really liked it. So it's about 9 minutes, and it's called "Why the Best Leaders Make Love Their Top Priority." And I think what I think makes us, our organization, special, and why we have such longevity, is because we do lead with love and we lead with connection. So I thought, as we're heading into Awaken, right, in this place of connection, it would be great to start with this. So it's 9 minutes. I'm going to share it. Just sit back, drink some water, your tea, have a fueling, but it'd be kind of cool to experience it together. So I'm going to put it on. Sometimes I lose you guys, so if you can't see it or hear it, somebody just pop off mute, right? So you'll let me know, but give me 1 second.
I would guess that most of you are aware that the failure rate of new businesses is very high. What you might not know is that the outlook for the largest, most valuable public companies in the US is not much better. Experts at Yale and McKinsey have recently stated that the average life expectancy of S&P 500 companies is less than 20 years. In other words, the average large public company will probably not be around as long as the neighbor's special cat, Fluffy. And this raises some interesting questions like, what causes these successful companies with proven business models to die so quickly? And perhaps most important, is there a cure? Although, of course, there are many symptoms that contribute to the failure of these companies, there seems to be one root cause of death. Their top priorities are in the wrong order. The good news is that when we understand this root cause of death, the cure becomes obvious. We simply reorder the priorities. And applying this cure not only helps companies to survive, it can help leaders in all types of organizations to achieve extraordinary levels of long-term success. But let's start with the root cause of failure. Most leaders I'm aware of behave as though their top priorities are in this order. First, profit, or other goals of the organization. Then customers, then employees. And while this might just seem to be business as usual, making profit the top priority essentially guarantees the premature death of the organization. Here's why. When leaders make profit the top priority, they will either consciously or unconsciously neglect employees in a systematic way. When employees are consistently neglected, they become increasingly disengaged over time. As a result, customer service declines, product quality declines, and innovation is much less likely to occur. In other words, the organization will fail to serve the customer well. And any organization that fails to serve the customer well will not survive very long. The great leaders, who not only help their organizations to survive, but achieve extraordinary long-term results, see their top priorities like this. Above all else, love employees. When we love employees well, they take very good care of the customers, and the goals of the organization are much more easily achieved. By love, I don't mean going around telling everyone, I love you, being all touchy-feely, holding hands and singing Kumbaya. By love, I mean doing whatever we can to improve the long-term well-being of our team members. The best leaders are always thinking about how they can help their people to grow and to thrive, both professionally and personally. And the well-being of employees is a filter for every decision they make. If a course of action would negatively impact the long-term well-being of employees, it is eliminated as an option. Now, by nature, I am terrible at this. I am hardwired to be a type A, goal-driven, selfish jerk. And I'm serious. And my obsession with goals actually led to my greatest failure. In January of 2001, I tried to take a shortcut to success. I attempted a fraud against the government and ended up spending 5.5 years in prison as a result. But about 2 years into my time in confinement, I had a deeply transformative experience that inspired me to make love my top priority. This turned my time in confinement into the most meaningful experience of my life. So for the last 17 years, while on my journey from prisoner to monk to social entrepreneur, I have devoted my life to training to consistently love better and studying why it's so beneficial to make love the top priority. And I have found an abundance of evidence demonstrating that making love the top priority is not only the right thing to do, it is the surprising secret of the best leaders. A great example of this is Herb Kelleher, the founder and longtime CEO of Southwest Airlines. For decades, Herb was known for consistently interacting with employees in a way that made them feel loved. He was also known for coming in on the most important family holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas to work side by side with frontline people, helping them do things like pass out peanuts on flights and load suitcases onto airplanes. Herb believed that the best way to lead any team or any organization is to make love the top priority. To say that Herb was successful with this practice would be a tremendous understatement. We could make a good case that relative to their industry, Southwest is the most successful company in US history. They have been profitable for 46 years straight. That is extremely impressive in any industry. In the cutthroat airline industry, it is almost inconceivable. And to achieve this remarkable feat, Herb never laid off a single employee and never once cut pay. Herb Kelleher is not alone, though. Many other leaders have proven this principle. In a landmark study conducted by Harvard researchers Cotter and Heskett, they tracked 207 publicly traded companies over a period of 11 years. Companies with leaders who were intentional about making it a top priority to take good care of employees outperformed their profit-focused competitors by a huge margin. Over 11 years, the people-focused companies increased their net income by an average of 756%. The profit-focused companies increased their net income by only 1%. This translated into a 901% increase in stock price for the people-focused companies versus only a 74% increase for the profit-focused companies. There are many, many reasons to lead with love as the top priority. This is the key to attracting and retaining fully engaged employees, to delivering world-class customer service, and to being agile and innovative enough to avoid becoming obsolete. But here's the primary reason that leading with love, making love the top priority, is the most effective way to lead: influence. At its most basic definition, leadership is the ability to influence the actions of others. And the healthiest, most sustainable, and most effective way to build influence is to consistently love the people we lead. For example, in the year 2000, although Southwest had been profitable for 28 years in a row, they were facing some serious financial challenges. There was a chance they wouldn't make a profit that year. So Herb Kelleher sent a memo to all of the nearly 30,000 Southwest employees, asking each of them if they would just do their best to save $5 per day for the rest of the current quarter. You could imagine how that would go over in profit-focused companies. Most employees would think, whatever, and go right back to wasting time on social media. But Herb's memo was different. It wasn't really anything special except for the way he signed it. He signed it, "Love Herb." It's special because he actually meant it. And every Southwest employee knew that he meant it. They remembered him coming in on Thanksgiving and Christmas to work side by side with them. They remembered him consistently demonstrating that he loved them year after year after year. Those people found a way to save $5 per day. In fact, they saved almost twice as much. And Southwest, of course, had another profitable year. This is the influence we create when people know that we truly care about them. Sadly, we lost Herb Kelleher earlier this year. He died on January 3rd. After a private funeral for Herb's immediate family, Southwest planned a public service. They knew that they would probably need a football stadium, or maybe two, to accommodate all of the people who would want to attend. They decided to keep the ceremony more intimate, and they only invited the friends and Southwest family members who were closest to Herb. Over 5,000 people attended. During the 2-hour memorial, speaker after speaker shared emotional examples of how Herb had positively impacted them and so many others. And this brings us to the most important reason to make love the top priority. If you spend the rest of your career leading with love as the top priority, you will look back one day and realize that you made a significant, positive impact on the people around you, and that you empowered them to make a positive impact on many others. And as I think we all know, somewhere deep inside of us, this is probably the only measure of success that truly matters. Thank you. It can help leaders in all types of organizations.
All right. So I see some clapping. I'd love to just make this interactive and not talk at you. I really can't top anything that he said, but would love it maybe a few of us to pop off mic and just kind of share what that meant to you. I know we're all leaders, so I know you could easily translate employees to what our business is, but we'd just love to hear some thoughts about how that landed with you.
I'll share, Dee.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome because, you know, the times where I felt most frustrated with my business is really when I've been focusing on the wrong things, just like he was saying. And when we get back to that love aspect and really remembering why we're here in the first place, even if you don't make your rank or if something happens, it doesn't have the same effect as if you're profit focused, right? If you're end result focused, it's just different. I don't know how to explain it, but you feel it, right? Because you know that you're loving people well instead of, what can I get from that next transaction, kind of thing. And what really goes hand in hand with Augmendino's work as well from Habit Finder and, greeting this day with love in my heart. And that's the first scroll is all about love and greeting people with love. So I think he's right on. I think that's really, especially in difficult times, that's what we have to really do is love people. Not that it shouldn't be the way we operate on a daily basis, but especially when people are hurting. And the world is hurting right now. There's a lot going on. So we can be that light to people and just let them know and reach out that we really do care. It's not about a transaction, that we're really, really concerned about their health and their mental well-being and what they're filling their lives with. And so anyway, I just really appreciate you sharing that with us. That was awesome.
Good. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing. I've been the same way, Michelle. Anytime that I find myself frustrated or people are moving orders or whatever, and you're like, nobody's on program. And you know what I mean? And we start making it about us and our goals instead of really digging in and going, okay, what is happening? Like, why? Like you said, people are hurting. So who else? Vicki?
So I have to say, I've been through the Habit Finder, I've been through the group, and this is very challenging for me personally. And it's funny because I have my master's degree in social work. So you would think like, all I do is care about people. And I truly do care about people. But it's a little bit of a conundrum in, I think where I get caught up in like, you realize you're going 50 miles an hour one direction is because we always talk about getting into action, right? If we're sitting around, nothing's happening. So get into action. And for me, that means hyper focus, and then I can fire hose people, right? So then it's like, I'm going to call this person, and it's like, I tend to go and do a lot. And then when you don't get the responses you want, or you get a no, thank you, then you can like cycle into kind of a downward kind of place. But it's, for me, the whole leading with love is a little bit more Zen, a little more beta, and doesn't translate to action for me. So I think that's why I personally have a really hard time with this concept, because I know I need to be in action because nothing's going to happen if you're not in action. I can't sing, I can't have kumbaya all the time, but I 100% agree, because when I operate more from that standpoint, it's less stressful, and then you get surprised by things. So it's valid. I just don't know how to bridge that with being in action. I don't know if anyone feels like that other than me, but
yeah, I love your transparency, Vicki. I think we can all do that. And what I learned was we have to slow down enough, and you're doing a great job in this, because you talk about it yourself. Like, yes, I realize I need to stop talking so much. You can still be in action and still serving and helping people, but it's more about listening, asking questions and listening to find out what they need, right? And come from that place of love and a true desire to help and serve them, versus hurry up because I got to get to the, you know what I mean? I got to talk to 10 people today, or hurry up because I just need you to say yes, because then I get my goals. Yeah. So I think there's room for both, right? And I think that can be the hard part. We talk about transformational and transactional business, and it can be easy to, I've been known to swing too far to transformational. Some people are too transactional, and I think really that pendulum needs to land somewhere in the middle. So we're clearly focused on our goals. We know what we're doing, but we don't forget the people and the connection, because honestly, that's the only way we get there with it. Debbie, I see your hand up.
So I I feel like that talk, I want to listen to it a few times. I feel like it's without a doubt, like he's describing the leader of Southwest, and I'm like, okay, well, Dr. A must be his brother or something, because that man is love. He's just a walking ball of love. And he, the fact that he gets choked up when he talks about the impact, on people's lives, and, just, he loves his coaches as much as he loves his clients, as much as he loves his business. Like, so that is a good goal for me, to be like that. And I'm realizing, like, this is how I want to be a leader in every area. So like when I'm leading my coaches, when I'm leading my clients, when I'm in my family, when I'm in my community, like that concept of thinking about the people and loving them before thinking about, okay, this is the process that needs to happen, this is the outcome that I want to have, like, those things are led by the love, not the other way around. So I definitely see that parallel there.
Good, good. And I'll share the recording when I post this. I'll share the link for the recording if you guys want to watch it again. Anybody else want to share?
I do.
Hey,
Connie,
Connie.
something that was revealed to me kind of inadvertently in a conversation was that I tend to be rather hard on myself when someone else doesn't get the results that they want. I might not in interaction with them, but I do on the other end, like, what could I have done differently so that they get the results that they want? And so I get hard on myself. And it's being able to love myself so that I can love others. Because if I don't have really compassion for myself, I'm not as capable of having it for them. And so that's a place for me to look for my own personal growth, is lead with my own health, and give them the tools and direct them the tools to empower themselves. But have been so in the past in the results business, whether it be with rank or whatever, but also about people achieving the success that they want, rather than empowering them, like wanting it more than they want it.
Well, so often, I love that, Connie, like, and such a huge realization, do we make it about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
When somebody's not doing well, we turn it inward, right? And our self-esteem goes down. And somebody had actually sent me something today on friendship and the ability to be happy for other people, or put yourself in their shoes, right? Not make it personal about you. What makes a good friend was one of the things they said was, in order to be a good friend to somebody else, and we are friends, right? Friends and coaches to people, is a good, healthy self-esteem ourselves, right? Because when we don't turn it inward and make it mean something bad about us, right? Then we're still in that place of service and love to them, to be able to hear them versus the noise in our head.
Yeah.
Real good. How about one more?
I can share, Dee.
Okay.
And I actually got to watch, this was my second time watching it. And so I think it was just another reminder of this. And honestly, I think for me, I'm definitely err on the side of transformational leadership. So I think coming from a place of love does come more naturally for me. But I think it was just such a reminder. Like, I feel like when I focus on love, I'm having more fun and I'm making more of an impact. And I love what he said about when you come from a place of love, that's when you really have influence. And I think that, to be really honest, I think that's something that's really special and unique about our particular team, is that I feel like this is something that we're very good at, but I think it can be very challenging, even for me, when I'm not reaching goals that I had set for myself, or just to, yes, baby. I can reach it. Okay, I'll get it for you in a second. Just to really get back to this, right? And remember that this is what it's all about, is really coming from that place of love. And I feel like it takes the pressure off when I just lean into that, because I can do that. I know I can do that. And I love doing that. And so it just makes it more fun and more enjoyable. And I have my sidekick.
That's awesome. It's the flexibility of coaching. We love it. We love it. Thanks for sharing that. And just an observation, because I feel it personally, let me ask a question. Do you guys feel a different energy even on this call from when you got on it to the way we're connecting now? Do you feel that difference? Like, I feel like we all kind of exhaled a little bit and, like, yeah, you know what, that is what we're about. That is it. Because you know what, we've been busy planning this event and I'm like, oh my God, I got 3 days to finish my presentation. You know what I mean? We can get so rattled up in it that we forget the point. But when we started our planning for Awaken, one of the questions I think Meg was the first one that raised was, how do we want people to feel? What do we want them to walk away with? And what we knew is we wanted you guys to feel loved. We wanted you to feel connected to something, right? And to be inspired. So just really, as I thought about it, I thought about canceling this and I thought, well, people are going to be, busy and trying to get ready. But I thought, you know what, for those of us that could be here and for those that watch the recording, I hope this sets the tone for us and your heart and your mind as we're going into this, because you know what, of course, we all have dreams, right? Many of us, this is our business. We're looking to grow. There is no doubt about that. But I think if we can exhale and kind of get regrounded in our roots of what it is that drives those results, that's what's going to make this experience better. I think, you can walk into that room and regardless of how your business looks at this moment, I just want you to know that you belong, right? And you are a part of something big, and you belong there. So there's going to be 40 something people who haven't heard what I've said. So if I repeat myself some Friday, you'll know why. But as we're heading into Awaken, I just want to also take this moment because sometimes you guys might have questions around it. We've tried to do our best in terms of sending communication and updates and whatnot. But as we're preparing, the most important thing is we want you to just come, be yourself, get what you need from the event. So if it's that connection, that human connection with other people, get what you need from the event. We're going to have plenty of downtime. We're going to have time that you're interacting with other people, maybe even people you don't typically interact with, because we think that's important. We're going to have some fun time. We're going to have business development and also personal development with Amy and Paul there from Habit Finder. So we're really covering a lot in just, really 2 days of content. So as you're preparing, packing, getting ready to reorganize your life to be there, anything specific you would like to know that we could talk about in advance? Because if you have a question, somebody else probably does too.
Oh, I do. This is kind of a silly question about changing clothes. So we go from the conference straight to the mountain, straight to the party. So can we change clothes or?
Yes. Yeah. Like it does make an assumption that the majority of people are staying at the hotel. So you'll have time. It'll be like, go back to your room, meet back in the lobby at a certain time. And I think we're actually going to do our group picture before we disperse to the mountain, because not everybody's going to hike, etc. So if you're not staying in the hotel, bring your stuff to change into, and then either maybe somebody can let you change in their room or go into one of the bathrooms or something like that. So yeah, that's a great question. But the party Friday night, it's outdoors. It's at Meg's father-in-law's house. Really beautiful location. The weather looks spectacular, and we just wanted to keep it low key, like roll your sleeves up and just have fun. So we're going to go straight from the mountain to the party. So you'll just wear whatever you have. And if any of the other leaders want to jump in, I would love to have you guys share as well, because this is a team effort.
My plan is just to wear the like yoga pants, and should I share about what we're giving them or no? We're giving you guys a long sleeve t-shirt. It's going to be super cute. So congrats for being on this call, because you get the so you're getting a long sleeve t-shirt that you can wear for the hike. So I will probably wear something else during the day on Friday, run back to the room and just put on yoga pants and the t-shirt. And then I'm just planning on bringing a swimsuit and like a cover up and something, to go over it, if it's even warm enough to swim, I don't know, for Friday night. So that's just to give you an example. But yeah, it's going to be super laid back Friday night. Saturday night will be a nicer event. Friday night will be really laid back. The color is gray. It's a charcoal gray. Lucy asked the color of the shirt.
And for those of you who don't live in Georgia, this time of year in Georgia is beautiful. The trees are changing colors, all of that, but the temperature is also changing. So dress in layers. When we climb the mountain, you'll probably want to be in a tank top because I think it's going to be in the 80s at some point on Friday. So dress in layers and you'll be all set. But we want it to be casual and formal because we want it to be about you. So wear whatever you feel comfortable in for any of the events. We just want you to feel good. So
Right.
that's all I wanted to share.
And somebody had asked, like, do I have to swim? Like, I don't want to put on a bathing suit. Then don't. Who cares? It's just for the people that want, that want to. I mean, it's where there's a outdoor fire pit. There's the pool for those that want to do it, and you don't have to do either. So yeah, Thursday night, totally casual. Most people just wear your travel clothes, whatever you come in. The hotel has a pub, and we are just going to plan to eat there. Meg and I checked out the menus. They have salads and stuff. So we're just going to, instead of trying to get in cars and drive places, we're just planning to land right there in the pub. And the pub is open, I think, on Friday and Saturday night till midnight. So if you come back from the other events and you want to still hang out for some community time, I think you can do it there. So.
And Dee, I know you sent this out, but it's important if anybody didn't read it, there's a dress code for the Saturday night dinner. The restaurant itself has a dress code, so make sure you look at that.
Mostly like not wearing shorts or baseball hats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
I think it said collared shirts for men.
Yeah, and no
Yeah.
flip-flop.
Yeah.
Rest assured, they will not send anybody away. We go there a lot of times. I never even knew they had a dress code. I show up as I am. So you are welcome to, don't let it be anything that stresses you out. Come as you are. I'm going to personally wear a dress and some heels because that's what I feel good in, but you do not have to, you will not be turned away.
That's good to know.
and I might just wear whatever I wear during the day on Saturday. I wasn't really planning to change. So, and the event itself, guys, just whatever you're comfortable in, jeans and a top, whatever, whatever you feel comfortable in, that's what you wear. I was going to say something else about, so on one thing to mention on Saturday, we're going to finish around 4. The dinner starts at 6, and then we're going to be going down to the Marietta Square, which is like a historic, kind of really cool area if you're not from here. But they have a festival going on called Chalktoberfest, where they have artists come in from all over the world who do these incredible chalk murals on the streets. So they work on them all day. And then so if anybody wants to go down there, we've got about a 2-hour block. If you want to go down there, there's also like a beer festival, groups of people you can either go back to your room and take a rest for a while if you want, go to the bar and have a drink, or go down and head down to the square early and go to Chalktoberfest and walk around. So we're going to give you that free time to make your decision and whatever you want to do. Anything else you want to know? All right. Well, good. Was this time together helpful just to kind of mentally set and prepare? Yeah, for me too. Me too. Okay, well, I don't have anything else specific, so we'll get on with our day. We do have team time tonight. Lori Cole is going to be leading. We're going to be on I love the title she came up with, How a Coach Coaches Coaches. So we've been doing our series about how to acquire coaches, how to have more say yes and develop the mindset, more say yes, and here's what you do with them. So look forward to seeing you on that. And I can't wait to hug you guys who are going to be there on Thursday or Friday when I see you. All right. Bye, guys.